Okay, guys, here are the things that the Social Security Agency needs to go ahead and do in 2024 to fix all of the problems that they're currently dealing with. Here are the main things that they've got to work on. Number one, the applicant backlog is horrendous. There's a million-person backlog, people filing for disability benefits. Like, the first thing they need to know is that it's going to take a while. And the reason why is because they didn't really manage the employees at the Social Security Administration in the sense of giving the employees what they needed to value the job, which was enough money, accommodations, things like that. And so they had mass quitters, people quitting the SSA. And as a result of that, you have around 1,000 people a month leaving the SSA, mostly DDS. So what's happening now is that we've got this million-person backlog. There's not enough people to process it, and they've got to mass hire people, train them. It takes like 3 to 6 months for them to really learn what they're doing, and then 2 years to really master it. There's a problem. So the new people that are being hired, there's a chunk of them where this is their first job out of college. Deciding whether or not a disabled person should be found disabled or become a homeless person, which is really what it comes down to, right? Are you disabled? You're disabled. Yeah, you get to live your life. You're not disabled. Yeah, you're probably going to become homeless. Having them have that power in their first job, that's not good. That's not good. That's just not a first job kind of gig, And what you have are 3 categories of people. You have the people that are staying at DDS. You have the people who basically, let's call it like it is, or it's their first time job. And then you have the people they're bringing from different portions of the agency to go ahead and work as DDS reps when they're not DDS reps. Those guys, for the most part, are amazing. Like these higher level, ALJ hearing or just OHO people, like the court clerk people, the judge clerk people, the higher up like legal folk, and they're incredible. You get one of those for a DDS rep, oh, they're good. They're really good. Which then brings up like the question as to why we just don't have a team of administrative law judges review DDS claims and start just going through them without having them do hearings, kind of like appeals counsel does with their AAJs. I mean, that would speed up the process. Just get the AAJs working through the DDS, claims and being able to go ahead and decide them and figure out what's going on as quickly as possible instead of leaving it up to those DDS reps and their managers. All right, so the next thing you got to keep in mind is this. The personnel training included by the SSA or DDS is going to take a while. So they were saying, hey, look, it's probably going to get better towards the end of the year because we're hiring a bunch of people, but it's not. In fact, it's getting worse. And it was supposed to be better starting right around now, like starting to get a little bit better. It's actually getting worse. So, okay, what do we do now? So what this means is that because it takes like 3 to 6 months to get the basics, get it like going, and then 2 years to master it, we're looking at like somewhere in the middle of 2024, if it gets on track and they pay these people enough for the time that it takes, 12 to 15 months for an initial filing, used to be 3 to 6 months, to start coming down. So this is like a 2036 or 2026 kind of solution thing where they know what they're doing. The SSA is able to retain enough employees. Instead, it's like a bread line where all the employees are standing up going like, I don't want to work for a loaf of bread anymore. And that's what happened. The SSA was literally ranked one of the worst, if not the worst agency to work for with the federal government. So it's a problem. And government's starting to fund them with more millions to deal with this issue. But it's all part of the same problem. The government don't care. Government don't care about the Social Security Administration. They don't. Our trust funds are running out. The agency doesn't have enough money because of mass inflation. The agency doesn't have enough money to hire new people because other jobs are going to offer more than them. The agency is not giving enough accommodations to workers to make it a decent place to work. The agency is struggling to pay out all the money that it has and figure out who is actually supposed to be paid. The agency is using mass scale funding of investigators to investigate Social Security recipients. Point is, Congress don't care. If they cared, they'd be finding ways to create investments to fund the trust funds or better use the FICA tax money that we pay in a better way than just these crap special bonds that we put the money into. Next thing, the wait times in general. So, okay, it takes about 12 to 15 months. You'll hear some unicorns out there here and there because they're basically with impairments that are extreme, or they're likely to pass away from it, or they're just flat out blind, right? There are some impairments that are going to go way faster than most of the individuals. But we still have the problem of it's taking like around 12 to 15 months, and some high population areas, or just areas that are overloaded, even longer, 15 to 18 months for an initial filing. That is insanely long. It used to take that long to get in front of a judge. That was like the long way. It was like 3 to 6 months initial filing, 3 to 6 months reconsideration. That was like 9 to 12 months to get in front of a judge. That was the whole thing. That was the whole spiel. Now, I mean, 2/3 of that is spent just on the initial filing level. So they got to work on this wait time by fixing the employee issue, by fixing the backlog problem. That's literally the ladder that gets us to success. Okay, I must have the most aggressive eyelash I've ever had. Are we okay? Okay, we're good. The scammers out there, I'd like to see the CDI unit spending more of their time going after these professional scammers, not in the sense of those who are receiving benefits and just getting a check. I mean, in the sense of those who are literally, pulling out loans off of people who don't even know that somebody pulled out a loan in their name against their benefits, against that income. Like the scammers that are out there, the drug dealers that are taking over houses of people that are, on Social Security benefits, that are, abusing the elderly, that are, basically just doing these digital games with the loan system, doing these games where they'll, send one drug addict to go collect the money of a recent drug addict, of their Social Security benefits. So that when the Social Security recipient has to go and pay their mortgage or their rent, they have no money. It's real and it's happening all the time. I would like to see more CDI unit focus on those who are mass abusing the claimants than just heavily going after the claimants. And I get it. You want to go ahead and kick people off of benefits because it saves the SSA millions and millions and millions of dollars. I get it. The SSA isn't doing well. Got to save money. Let's kick a bunch of people off. Some of them are fraudsters. Let's hit them hardest. I get it. I really do understand it. But the emphasis on, high level amounts of people targeting 3, 5, 20, 30, 50 disabled, retired, whatever people, I would like to see more emphasis on that. Okay. Next thing, understanding that AI is one of the solutions for the Social Security Administration. It really is. They already have some quasi version of AI reviewing medical files to see what's, the current status and severity of a claimant. So this AI program will go through and, okay, here's this, metric, here's that number, here's this thing. Okay, cool. Shows slight improvement, forecasted to improve. Cool. Let's CDR this person, see if they're going to be on benefits in the next 2 years. Cool. We see improvement within the next 2 years. Let's hit them with the long form CDR because we might be able to get them off of benefits. That's the future, right? AI is going to become the most aggressive, knowledgeable CDI unit investigator that the SSA has ever had. That's the truth. You guys think that things are going to get more pro-disabled? No, they're going to use artificial intelligence like they've never used it. It is going to find weaknesses. It's going to find your crap online, you sitting on a jet ski, you smiling at a carnival, and it is going to use that faster than humans ever could. That's really that's the reality. The SSA is going to use that as one of its greatest tools to kick people off of benefits by showing medical improvement. Somehow, I would like to see, but I will never see this, the Social Security Administration to be able to hold accountable, again, I know I'll never see this, the congressional members that make promises about Social Security benefits. If you intend to do something when you're in Congress, that should be considered a promise. Because when you sell people on the idea that you're going to get rid of the marriage penalty rule, you're going to get rid of the cost of living adjustment, or the what's it called? The 1/3 reduction rule, the in-kind support maintenance rule. When you make these like statements about like, oh, they suffer, we got to help them and blah, 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 and then you don't do shit about it. It's kind of like a fraud game. I don't want to say our politicians are fraudsters, but to be fair, when they tell you this is going to be their goal, this is going to be their agenda, is that not a promise? for a politician, is that not a promise? Like, we intend to do this, and then they never do it. I mean, think about it. The Social Security changes either were never put into the mass acts that were passed, or they were put in the very first phase and then killed off right at the first swing. First chop block, they were first to go. I don't know. I mean, maybe we find a way that if a politician makes a statement that this is what they're going to do, that they're held accountable to that thing. Otherwise, they don't get to finish their term. They got to show that they're working towards it. They have to show that they've made progress. I don't mean just submitting a bill to Congress. Anybody can do that. Anybody sitting in a House seat and a Senate seat can submit a bill to Congress. And they do it all the time. The bills that are never going to pass because they're not really pushing. Look, imagine this. When the mega companies, you could use Hollywood or really any media company, wants to make money, they'll advertise the hell out of that movie so you spend your money to go see it. Cool, right? You do that, you're good. You spend your money to go see it. When Congress wants to make you believe that they're doing something but not actually doing shit about it, they will release a bill to basically, the congressional website. It will sit in a committee. They will do a press release about how important it is. They'll go visit here, they'll go visit there, but nothing else. Isn't it weird that that's all we require of them? Like if Hollywood was going to release a big film, shit, that would be advertised all over the place. They'd be spending money to try and make that thing happen. Their dream would be to make that bill pass. But these guys, they do like an info session. They put it up on the congressional website. Shit. And we all know none of these Social Security bills are going to pass unless they go over to Stephen Goss first, the chief actuary at the SSA, to get the numbers from him as to what it will do, how it will affect the budget, what it will do to the ultimate trust funds. A lot of them aren't even submitted to him. That means they knew ahead of time that they were selling you a bunch of bullshit. Next thing. Actually, in 2024, one of the things the SSA needs to do is get the funding they need to actually operate properly. The government could literally take its next chunk that it's going to send to Ukraine and give it to the SSA, and that would have a measurable increase in the likelihood of the success of the SSA to process claims faster. But they won't, because they want to fund Ukraine and wind farms. Ukraine and wind farms. How much money are you going to be able to make off of those wind farms? I'm waiting. Give me a number. Hop. Come on. How much money are you going to make off Ukraine at the end of it? And then the worst part is, what happens when we get tired of spending money on Ukraine and the American people actually do something about it? Then Russia wins, takes over, and all that money we spent on Ukraine, done. All we have is the research we know from the gear we gave them and how they used it. Finding investment solutions. This is the real thing to fix. It's the final thing on my list. It's the real thing for them to fix in 2024, but I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Finding investment solutions from the USA into known concrete investments or investment groups that can better fund the trust funds beyond what people are paying in. Middle class is struggling. We know that. And the reasons are simple. Can the SSA find a better place to either put our money so that it makes a lot more as an investment, or fix the special bond system? Our special bonds, they need to earn about twice of what they're currently earning to make the boo-boo better. How do we make bonds do that? By having a rock-solid country that people can trust. Although we have just degraded the U.S.'s ability to, handle money, that wasn't good. And then we had all these banks go out of business. That also was not good. Sheesh, And then we have these other nations saying they don't want to use the U.S. currency as the international trade dollar. That's even worse. So the problem with the government is they're like about to not have money to spend on their international war machine. I mean, think about it. We got bases in all these different countries all over the damn place. And other countries are afraid to attack them because they have US bases. The US bases have nuclear missiles. Nobody wants to attack a nuclear missile. Nobody wants to do that except China. China thinks it could win against Taiwan, and it would. So the point is, while we're playing a fake game of trying to be the nice guy, China and Russia are playing reality, which is land grab, which means resource grab. They want the raw materials. There's only so much lithium. There's only so much copper. There's only so much gold. There's only so much whatever. Okay. That's the problem. There's not enough Kyber crystals to go around. And this whole ethical, moral thing that the U.S. is trying to play isn't really working to our favor. It's actually costing us billions. So at the end, I would like to see the SSA fix these things in 2024. I know that they can't fix them in total, but they could mass fund things better from the government. They could have better training programs. They could, think about, look, if you took money from the whole Ukraine next sending, whatever the next sending would be, like, and I'm sure it'll be tomorrow because we send money over there all the time. But if you took that money and put it into high level training programs, okay, that, like super training groups could go ahead and just compare and contrast and make new programs, put them online to train people, see who, wants to try it out, create a whole new advertising campaign to get people excited about working for the SSA. And remember, the SSA makes these like junky videos where they're like, I love the SSA because it saved my family had to use it when I was a little kid and I had no money. Well, somebody who's working for the company doesn't care about that. There's zero interest with that. Like, they're trying to create this ethical, moral, like, connection. Like, here's my giant magnet. I want to make my heart part of your heart. I want you to understand that my family survived as a result of Social Security, and you should get a job here because of that. That's not how modern America works. Modern America is, how much money are you going to pay me? How many hours do I have to work? How hard do I have to work? And how many damn degrees do I need to have? And how much student loans as a result of it? Look, the Air Force does well when a Top Gun movie comes out. They're smart. They know what to do there. What movie is coming out for the Social Security Administration to sell to people that they got the great job that they should want? Which is ironic, too, because Top Gun 2 came out and basically told everybody, hey, look, there's not going to be a Top Gun 3 because all these aircraft are going to AI mode. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed kind of understanding what's going on here. Oh, I see Positively Cheyenne in there. So anyways, let's see. She said, law, I would, but that would get me fired and my kids need food. Law, maybe a reenactment. Walter can play claimant. Law. She said that to claim it was best, had to try hard not to laugh. I'm not even sure what's going on there. Anyways, point is this. I hope you guys are well. I would like to see a future president that prioritizes Social Security benefits. I know that the trust funds are the most worrisome thing. They're not. The most worrisome thing is the massive, massive backlog and the lack of employees at the SSA. Anyways, I will catch you a little bit later. Yeah, Top Gun was Navy, sure, but everybody signed up for the Air Force because they wanted to fly prototype planes. And the prototype planes were not the Navy. Prototype planes were Air Force. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Navy gets the prototype planes, but I'm pretty sure they get the planes that are like, true and tested, and we'll put them on our ship. Whereas the prototypes with the weird fuel cells that could be maybe a little bit explosive, those suckers they keep on the airfield. Anyways, I hope all is well. I will catch you a little bit later. I love Southerings. Hey, I can be the new Tom Cruise. That's true. It'll probably be a taller Tom Cruise, but we won't say anything. Anyways, I'll catch you guys a little bit later. You have a wonderful night, and I will catch you on Thursday when we go live. Have fun. Please remember to like, subscribe, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.